The Static Discharge Holosmith is an interesting build because it uses the synergy between the Explosives trait line, which gives you damage when you dodge, and the Tools trait line, which also gives you more damage and more dodges. But when you're taking two offensive trait lines like this, you don't have any defenses, and it means that the Static Discharge Holosmith build is kind of a glass cannon until now, when there have been buffs to the Holosmith and some of the Tools traits, where now you have Condi Cleanse and Stability Access, which were some of the hardest things for you to get as a Holosmith. So those were kind of your counters, were Conditions and CC, but now that you have them, this build is not as squishy or a free kill as it used to be. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I play the Static Discharge Holosmith, the build that I play, even though there's quite a few options that you can pick, and then the combos and some gameplay commentary. So the build that I use in World vs. World is full Berserkers, except for a little bit of Marauders here and there. You get your Vitality mostly from the Blast Shield trait, but you can also go for Aim Assisted Rocket if you just want to go full Glass Cannon. And then we go for the Rune of the Brawler just for a little bit of toughness, because this is kind of like a full melee build, so you're going to be hit by a lot of damage that you can't really avoid. So it's nice to be a little bit tankier. So we just get a little bit of toughness from the Rune of the Brawler. And then I take the Relic of Isgarin, or you can go for the Nyos Relic if you're going against a lot of Condis. You do have a lot of Condi Cleanse on this build, so it gives you a lot of sustain. And there's also the Durability Relic. You could go for Daredevil as well, but generally Isgarin is going to give you more damage, so you can go for that unless you're outnumbered. If you're outnumbered, then yeah, definitely go for a more defensive relic. And then on the Sword Shield, you go for Energy Cleansing, pretty staple, but you can go for a hammer or a rifle if you really want. I just like the Sword Shield because it allows access to the shield, which is quite a great defensive and offensive combo enabler. For the traits, we want to go for Explosives and Tools, of course. Static Discharge, you can go for Lock On, or you can go for Takedown Round if you just want more reliable damage. The Reveal is really nice in World vs. World, but the Takedown Round might be better in PvP, where stealth is not as abused. And then of course go for Kinetic Battery, because this gives you more super speed and quickness whenever you use Tool Belt skills. So essentially Tool Belt skills are going to give you Vigor, and you get more damage whenever you have Vigor, and you're going to cleanse conditions. So as a Holosmith, your Photon Forge acts as a Tool Belt skill. So this is going to give you the Static Discharge trigger, which is going to shoot out a lightning bolt that does some bouncing damage, and it's going to give you Condi Cleanse. So just entering and leaving Forge is going to keep triggering your Tools traits to give you more Kinetic Battery. It's going to give you Static Discharge, it's going to give you Cleansing. So just constantly going in and out of your Forge is really necessary to the flow and the synergy of the build. And because of that, we want to go for Vent Exhaust, because that's going to allow us to manage our heat better instead of the Enhanced Capacity, which is more like you go in your Forge for a really long time and then you leave for a really long time. This trait allows you to go in and out a lot more, because whenever you dodge, you're gonna reduce your heat. So whenever you're going for like a nade holo build, you have your nades that you can spam, so it's a lot easier for you to go for enhanced storage capacity. But for SD holo, you really need the Vent Exhaust. And then in Explosives, we get Fury whenever we hit with an explosion. So our Photon Forge 3 skill is an explosion, and of course Explosive Entrance is an explosion. So whenever you dodge, you're going to get Explosive Entrance on your next hit, and you want to make sure that you're going to hit that for the Fury and the extra damage. And then we just get a lot of vulnerability from explosions. Blast Shield, of course, you can go for that if you really want, or you can go for Aim Assisted Rocket. This isn't a nade build, so Explosive Temper isn't the best. We're not hitting that many explosions, we're kind of doing singular ones. And then Flashbang versus Big Boomer. If you're in a group fight, probably want to have Big Boomer, but if you're in like a 1vx or a 1v1 situation, Flashbang is probably going to be better. So that's pretty much the traits and the build. But for the skills, so we have Coolant Blast you can go for if you want a faster Condi Cleanse, because the F1 is instant. It cleanses a lot of conditions and even more if you're above 50% heat. And the heal skill will actually be a combo finisher blast. That's going to be important for a little bit later when I talk about some healing combos. But we need to go for some really good utilities that give you access to spammable tool belt skills, because that's going to allow you to get vigor, right? So we really want the Photon Wall because that gives you Particle Accelerator, which is a ranged instant cast that shoots out. So it's going to shoot a Static Discharge, and it's going to shoot out the Particle Accelerator. So that's going to give you pretty much an instant cast vigor access, which is going to give you more damage. So whenever you're going to do your combo, you want to go in and use F2 with your Corona Burst, and that will give you a lot of damage because it's going to give you might, vulnerability, and this is going to give you vigor. So just these two skills together adds a lot of damage to you. And then we've got the Spectrum Shield, which now gives you stability. So we've got a stun break here that gives stability, and then we've got Elixir U, which also is a stun break that gives stability. Not as much stability in PvP. So we have a lot of access to stability on this build, and that's going to pretty much counter the one thing that you're weak to, which is CC. And we've also got a blind here from Flash Spark. It's just an instant cast blind in melee range, and then it'll also do a Static Discharge. And then Toss Elixir U is actually just going to give you more super speed. So the build has a lot of super speed on it, and you also get super speed from the Crystal Configuration Zephyr. So you want to be using your Forge 2 skill a lot, because that's going to be giving you your super speed and removing those movement inhibiting conditions. And then you're spamming your Photon Forge 3 skill, Corona Burst, in melee range, and it has a delayed hit. So generally what you want to do is, because most people dodge this, is you want to use it, and if they don't dodge that first one, then they take a lot of damage, and then there's going to be a delayed hit afterwards. So you can CC them right after you use the first one. So for example, I can do my Forge into 3, and then as soon as I land it, I want to leave and then knock them back so that it's guaranteed to hit that second Corona Burst hit, because it's so telegraphed. It tells you when it's going to hit that second burst because everyone knows the timing of it. So you want to do like a CC with your Shield 4 after you're using Corona Burst into like your Sword 3 2 burst. So that's kind of like your basic combo there. So we're going to be using Forge to move around a lot. We can use the Photon Wall to kind of protect ourselves while we're waiting for our combo. Just keep spamming your 2 and 3. If you have quickness from your Elixir U, you can auto attack, and then you're going to get one last Corona Burst before you leave, and then do the combo here. So, and then obviously use F2 somewhere in there because that's going to give you the vigor. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic combo right there. The Shield 4 with your Corona Burst into Sword 3 and 2 Particle Accelerator. Now there's also the healing combo. So we've got Mortar. So although we have a lot of access to removing our heat by dodging, and we're going to be dodging a lot because we have a lot of vigor, also you definitely want to be using the Bowls of Orion Truffle and Meat Stews if you're in World v World. But we're still going to have a lot of heat because we're constantly in Forge most of the time. So while you're not in Forge, you can of course do the shield and sword skills, but we have the Mortar Kit, and you can use this to kite while you're waiting for your heat to go down. But also you have Elixir Shell, which gives you a water field, and we can use our heal skill as a blast. We can use our Forge 5, which is a blast, leap through it as well, which is a leap. So pretty much use that, and then you use all of your heals, and you can get to full health. So that's a pretty nice combo to remember when you're pressured, or just when you're waiting for your next combo or waiting for your heat to go down. So you don't want to overheat, obviously. So those are like the main combos, the heal combo, and then the like burst combo. So here's a PvP ranked match where I'll be playing a roamer role as the ST Holosmith. You don't want to be taking 1v1s because even though you have a decent amount of survivability, it's more like burst survivability. You can't sustain 1v1s very easily unless you can get the kill very fast. So we're going to be looking for a kill here. We see their support Tempest is not a good target because they have Stoneheart, so we immediately go on the Scourge here, and we just blast them with all of our cooldowns with our team and get that kill before the Tempest can get the res. We knock them out, and our entire team is actually at mid. So we're in a 5v3, it looks like, at mid. So we're going to just blast that immediately, but that means we've lost side nodes, and they have a Untamed here, which is not a very good matchup for me at all, because first of all, I'm not a 1v1 build, and second of all, Untamed counters power builds. So we're going to get the decap here and then immediately go for the kill. I blast them with the Photon Blitz, wait for their dodge to use my Chrono Burst, but they have invulnerability there. And we're just going to keep on them, use my Cleanse with the F1, and then knock them with the Shield 4 so that we can finish them off with my ally. And since this is a Ranger, I need to finish them off, so I can't bleed them and get value. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cap the node while they're in the down state. So we're going to lose some time here, but it's required. We have to do it, so it is what it is. And we're just going to cap this and just let our heat kind of like cool off, and then we're going to head into mid and see if we can help our team, because our support it's looking like they're really pressured right now. So we're going to use our Holo Leap 2 skill to get some super speed to rotate fast. Just keep using that when we're traveling. And I was just looking if there's any respawns going towards home, but I'm not going to go there anyways. I see there's a Reaper here I can go on. I use my Photon Blitz. But yeah, our support has died, and I think someone at far died as well, so we're kind of in a bad situation. But I see that one of them is low, so maybe I can go for the kill on them. I'm just stalling, running around the node just to keep mid node for us, but now I want to go on their support. I use a Corona Burst and just auto attack, but yeah, I'm getting a lot of conditions on me, so I use the Holo Leap to cleanse any conditions that are movement inhibiting conditions, and then I leave Forge, which will also cleanse conditions. So it's a really reliable condition cleanse to use the leap and then leave Forge when you're above 50% heat. So yeah, that's like the main combo you want to be doing when you go into a fight, is like go in, do your damage, leap out, and then leave Forge, and then you've got basically all the condis that you've gained off of you. And then from there you can use your mortar, or you can use your shield to block if they're still pressuring you. Now I'm going to use my healing combo here and then go back in for the kill on their Dragon Hunter. Use my Photon Blitz, but it looks like they're kind of blocking. My ally goes down and another ally goes down, so I'm going to have to finish off the Dragon Hunter here. I use stability from the Elixir U, but actually I forgot that in PvP it's not a really long stability. But we got the stomp anyways, and we're going to look for the next kill here. I see that our team is really low, but we get it down, so I'm going to go in and use the F2 and the F3, and that's going to create these static discharges, and those bounce. So in these situations where there's a lot of enemies next to each other, that static discharge will bounce and hit a bunch of them and do a lot of damage in these like downstate situations. So always you have really good pressure in those situations where the enemy's down, because your damage is just so easy to land. And we get their Ellie down, and we're going to use the mortar to pressure from afar because I'm really high on heat and I can't just go in. And we're going to get that, and then we're probably going to leave here because, well, yeah, I see the Scourges here as well, and they're going to probably pressure our team into mid, so I want to just kill them before they can do that. So yeah, we're just going to auto attack them. I go towards mid, and I want to 2v1 this Reaper, trying to get momentum constantly. They port on top of the plateau there, so I'm going to just leave and go to far, get the decap, because their team is really kind of like behind right now. They're low on momentum, but they do own nodes, so we need to prevent them from getting a lot of value off these nodes. And I can even go for the full cap here because it looks like my team isn't going to home. So yeah, I just need to full cap this, but they're going to be respawning and coming here to me, and like I said, I don't want to be 1v1ing, so this is kind of a bad situation for me, but we'll just wait to see what happens. So someone's coming out of spawn. It is a Scourge. I can 1v1 a Scourge, but not 1v2 a Scourge and a Reaper. So I'm going to use my Photon Wall and just block with my Shield 5. Just get some value off this node, waste their time, see if my teammates are going to come here to help me, but they're not, so I'm just going to leave, use my F1 and my heal skill to survive, and use some super speed to get out. You can see there the Holo Leap, and then I cleanse myself with the Forge Exit. So yeah, my team is not rotating very fast, but now I have my team Scrapper coming in, but this is still going to be a 2v3 now instead of a 1v2, so we're still in a disadvantaged position. But the Reaper tries to rotate out, so we're going to go on them and see if we can get some damage. They dodge my Photon or Corona Burst, so they're going to be able to survive. But I'm just going to pressure them with some mortar until I can get to the node. use the Holo Leap to get in. But yeah, there's a lot of tankiness on the node, it looks like they have. So, is that, yeah, I think their Elementalist is there as well. But we're just auto-attacking here with quickness on the Reaper, and you can see we can just do so much damage. I'm going to stomp with stability from the orb skill there. I don't know what its name is, but yeah, my Scrapper dies on the node, and there's not really much I can do because they own the node. But this 2v3 that we've stalled has given us enough time to get home node, so that's fine. We can just pressure them with the mortar kit while we wait for our heat to go down. And then I'm actually going to create some distance here by going for the decap, because if they push into mid with 2, they have a good team fight comp. So if I force them to split like this, so now their Tempest is going to 1v1 me, and a support cannot 1v1 a Holosmith. So we're going to get a lot of value out of this, and we even got the decap, so it's not like they're getting points from me doing this. But their Dragon Hunter comes in, I'm forced to use my stun break to get out of their pull, and my teammates rotate in, but I actually want to go to mid instead of far because the Reaper's there alone. So I can go for the kill there, but it looks like they just, yeah, they're just going to port on top of the plateau again. We do get the full cap, so that's not bad. We've got 2 nodes, and I want to go too far just to help my teammates peel out. I see that they're not really in that much trouble, so I'm going to go back to mid and use the mortar probably to pressure this Reaper who's on top of that high ground. Yeah, we're just kind of waiting, but maybe I should have gone home in this situation. But the Reaper is also a good target here. They're going to jump off their high ground, so now we can go in for the kill. I'm waiting for my heat to go down, and now, yeah, I get feared. So actually my teammate looks like they get the pull, so we can go in for this. Waste a little bit of damage into their shroud, but we can maybe get them with some, yeah, there was a blind, I believe, from the dodge, maybe. I go for the gate here to prevent them from just constantly getting free resets, but honestly, it looks like they're leaving. Yeah, the Reaper's just leaving and going to far. So at this point, maybe I was a little bit too invested in getting this gate, but it's down now, and the game is already somewhat close to ending, so maybe that's not really a good use of my time because we don't prevent them from getting too much value from that anyways. So we go into mid, and they're outnumbered there. I go for the Untamed, but that's probably the wrong target because they're going to be really hard to kill already in a group situation. Solo, it's going to be impossible. So I'm going to retarget, look for another kill maybe. But the Untamed actually has our home node. So I'm going for the kill on the Untamed, just testing this out. And it looks like, yeah, this is going to be a bad idea by me to try to take this 1v1 because the Untamed is just going to, it's going to beat me in the 1v1. Though I do get the decap, so it's not that bad if I'm able to hold the decap, though I am not getting as much value as them because if I get +1, I'm just dead. So yeah, I'm just going to leave, use my cleanse there, you see, with the Holo Leap into the exit of the Forge, and let them just have the node. I'm going to just cleave these kills out at mid, use the Chrono Burst. I get stunned there immediately, so I'm going to reposition, cleanse myself by exiting Forge, and just wait for my heat to go down, look for the next kill. I see that their Ellie is really low. Yeah, they actually misformed, it looked like. So they got finished off. And now we want to go for the Scourge, Corona Burst into Photon Blitz, use all of my Static Discharge from the tool belts. And now we can cleave this out very fast. Though I'm getting a lot of conditions from this Untamed, they're focusing me. And the Dragon Hunter use their longbow abilities on me, but I'm able to rally. Almost? No, I'm not able to. Yeah, we get locked down by the Reaper and the Dragon Hunter, but my teammates are here. I'm trying to survive long enough for them to rally me, and they do get the rally. Now I need to use my heal and just get out of there with the Holo Leap. I can go cap home now because my teammates have gotten the kills, and I'm not forced to 1v1 a Untamed anymore. And now we can just kind of win the game from this point as long as my teammates rotate and I don't get forced into a bad 1v1 or they lose mid somehow. But yeah, we're probably going to face some respawns because the immediate thing that they want to do is come to what is for them far node. And yeah, there it is. The Untamed is coming to get this node for me. and I don't really have a good matchup here, so I want to force them off the node because I don't want to fight them on the node. So I'm just trying to fight them as much as I can before getting to the node. But yeah, their support is here now, and we have to be careful. I need to remove these condies, but I need to also hold the node. My support is actually here though, so this is actually a good 2v2 for us because I have support, so I don't get as much countered by this Untamed, and their support is still providing a lot of value, but at least the counter is not as bad. So yeah, we can just hold this with our support, though that does mean the support isn't at mid, so hopefully they don't lose mid. But yeah, we should just win with this node. So this is pretty much how you want to play the Static Discharge Holo. You want to be very mobile, running around the map, looking for those kills, and avoiding getting focused using your mobility. But if you like this content, then please like the video. Check out the full build on guildgen.com, linked in the description. And if you want to support me, of course, you know how to do that by clicking any of the links in the description or by becoming a patron. And I will see you all next time.